Beijing's financial street is one of the places where most of China's wealth congregates, including financial decision-making, market supervision, asset management, payment and settlement, and financial information centers. In 2016, the headquarters of an international financial institution was located here. On January the 16th, representatives from 57 member countries jointly launched AIIB. As the highest decision-making mechanism of AIIB, its council was also formally established.
亚投行57个成员国共同创建的亚投行今天正式开业。3, 2, 1, start.
亚投行理事会举行成立大会，标志着这个新的亚洲区域多边开发机构开始正式运作。这在全球经济治理体系改革进程当中是一件有意义的事情。
The whole process of AIIB's conception to its initiation, from the responses by many countries to its official foundation, took only 27 months. Such high efficiency is backed up by China's impressive national strength and active constructive contributions as a large developing country. This has created an Asian community of common destiny which has won the acceptance and favor of the world.
We wish AIIB
Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank.
every success in the future.
Great success.
A really fantastic future ahead of it.
All the best for the future.
We look forward to a long and warm cooperation.
Close cooperation to address the world's tremendous infrastructure needs.
Good luck and congratulations.
On January the 17th, 2016, Mr. Jin Li-chun, the first elected president of AIIB, presided over the official press conference which followed AIIB's confident debut.
I'm greatly honored and privileged to be elected the first president of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. This is an extremely important responsibility to run this institution according to the highest possible standard, according to the principles outlined in the bank's articles of agreement: transparency, openness, accountability, and independence.
From October the 7th, 2013, when the Chinese president outlined the initiative for the creation of AIIB, to its official launch on January the 16th, 2016, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank project made progress at China speed, a concept which has gradually become known to the world. However, as the first international multilateral financial institution established and launched by China, with developing countries as the main body, AIIB went through hardships during the preparation process.
今年，来自亚洲地区的21个国家共同签署了筹建亚洲基础设施投资银行的备忘录，这标志着各方共同决定成立亚投行，并将加快推进亚投行法律协议的磋商进程。
In October 2014, a year after the initial preparations for the creation of AIIB, representatives of 22 prospective founding member countries signed the memorandum for the creation of AIIB and jointly decided to set up the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. In addition to China, the other 21 prospective founding member countries were the first group to strongly support AIIB. However, it took nearly a year for these 22 prospective founding member countries to reach agreement. Among these 22 countries, most were Southeast Asian nations. Others were Central Asian and South Asian countries. With the exception of Singapore, they were almost all developing countries, the least prosperous of which were in urgent need of funds to improve their infrastructure.
This is for the first time after the Second World War that all the ASEAN countries can gather together, right, in order to trying to establish some multilateral financial institutions in order to provide some resources, some financials for infrastructure project in Asian countries. This is very important.
With a longing for development funds and recognition and trust in China's strength, these 21 countries, together with China, became the first group of prospective founding member countries of AIIB.
I mean, I don't think it's any accident at all that China's absolutely in the vanguard of this, because China's own transformation was about a developing country and the importance of infrastructure. So if there's one global expert on these questions, it's China.
如果80年代我们要做一个事情，肯定呢不能得到那么多的支持，而现在得到这么多国家的认同，而且这么多国家支持，这都是一个巨大的变化。
After the signing of a memorandum for the creation of AIIB through 5 meetings of chief negotiators, the plan for the construction of AIIB AOA was gradually perfected. Seeing the promising future of the Asia market, more and more developed countries beyond Asia became interested in joining AIIB. If we say that before 2015, AIIB was only Asia's AIIB, then after March 2015, AIIB became the world's AIIB. Immediately before the due date for applications for joining the founding member countries, many nations of the 5 continents tried their best to become founding member countries themselves. It was very dramatic. On March the 12th, 2015, the United Kingdom announced its desire to become a founding member country of AIIB. It was the first Western country to publicly apply to join AIIB and drew a lot of attention at that time.
This is the first time China has led the development of a new, potentially globally encompassing organisation. Pretty exciting moment.
Well, I thought it was a good move by the United Kingdom to decide to become a member of the AIIB, and for the global economy clearly it's the right thing to be doing to support Asia as it continues to grow.
London is one of the most important financial centres in the world, also the world's largest transaction centre for the foreign exchange market, and the main trading centre for OTC interest rate derivatives. London is home to the Bank of England, known as the King of Banks, and the world's oldest stock exchange. The London Stock Exchange and London Gold Market once had gold transactions which accounted for 80% of the total global turnover. As a backbone country of the Bretton Woods system, why did the UK join this multilateral financial institution, mainly consisting of developing countries?
2 reasons why Britain wanted to join the bank. By far the most important reason is that Asia is a very important part of the global economy, rapidly growing, huge infrastructure needs. Britain has a great deal of expertise in this area. It wants to be part of it. Secondly, there's a political aspect to this. Britain does see China as a very important economy going forward. It wants to have strong links with China. It's been developing those in many ways, and I think this was a part of that exercise of demonstrating a willingness of Britain to be involved and indeed to take the lead among the Western countries.
Later on, France, Germany, Italy and other major European countries, followed by Luxembourg, announced their desire to join AIIB. Countries which once had a wait-and-see attitude, such as Australia and Korea, finally announced their intention of joining AIIB. At the last minute, Portugal, Poland and other countries also announced their applications to become founding member countries of AIIB.
Why the European countries and some other countries are very much keen on joining this bank? Because over the last 14 months or so, the non-Asian countries have seen with their own eyes the democratic manner in which we have had these negotiations.
If we improve connectivity across Asia, and what I describe as this pan-continental project, which has been launched in terms of AIIB, I think if Asia, and particularly, begin to rise more, it is very good for the global economy.
What makes this occasion even more special is that the idea of the creation of a bank for infrastructure came from the East, which to my mind is further proof of the rebalancing of the world economy.
한국 입장에서는 AIIB 자체가 그렇게 부정적 시각보다는 오히려 AIIB 자체의 출범이 세계은행이라든지 그다음에 ADB하고 협력해가지고 세계 금융 질서를 재편하면서 발전시켜 나갈 수 있는 그러한 하나의 의미를 가지고 있다 이렇게 좀 보고.
By April the 15th, the number of prospective founding member countries had surprisingly reached 57. Among these 57 countries, 37 come from countries in Asia and Oceania within the region, and 20 from another 3 continents outside the region. The group includes 14 G20 member countries, 14 EU member countries, 12 APEC member countries, and 6 TPP member countries.
いわゆる G7 諸国、先進7カ国の諸国の中の、イギリス、ドイツ、フランス、イタリアですね。イギリス、ドイツ、フランス、イタリアの4カ国が、入るということを表明したということで、事態がガラッと変わってきましたよね。その先進国の思いと途上国の思いがちょうどうまく重なって、で今57カ国になってるんだろうと思いますね。
これこのas I seeって私のプロセナビューですけども、全て政治的な判断であって、日本はアメリカ、を置き去りにしてね、でアメリカがいい顔をしないのに AIIB に入るっていう選択肢はおそらく政治的になかったと僕は思ってます。アメリカもですね、さっきも言いましたように入れるのは多分入りたいんじゃないかと思うんですが、ご存知のようにアメリカは例えばお膝元の IMF に対する増資すらですね、議会が承認しないもんですから、もう5年ぐらい棚ざらしになって、で IMF にすら出資できないアメリカがですね、AIIB の出資が認められるかっていうのは誰も思わないわけで。
美国和日本，包括没有参加亚投行的一些西方国家来说，在这个问题上可能打错了算盘，因为他们一开始没有估计到这些亚洲基础设施投资银行会有这么多得到这么多支持，是吧？他们也没有想到这个亚洲基础设施那么快能推出。
I think that many countries have recognized that, and so they want to be part of that and want to help shape that. So that's why there was a lot of enthusiasm to join the AIIB, not just among potential recipient countries in Asia, but also other members of the international community.
13年提出来以后，就受到了区域内包括区域外很多国家的积极响应、热烈的这个参与的这么一个效果，就是因为有需求也有供给，同时呢，传统上我们理解的发达国家又自顾不暇，不可能来为你满足这样一个需求。再加上呢，现有的这个金融体系、支撑体系也是满足不了这个需求的，所以说需要有这么一个新的机构来出现，来满足这样一个需求。
With an open and inclusive attitude, AIIB, based on the principle of the regional first and then the non-regional, has opened the door for the whole world to found the AIIB. What's more, China, at this time the largest developing country in Asia which initiated and founded AIIB, has been fully prepared. More than 30 years of financial reform and openness has given China the requisite confidence and strength.
中国参加这个国际金融组织，最早是1980年参加了世界银行和这个国际货币基金组织，我们恢复了这两个国际组织的席位。到1986年呢，又恢复了在亚洲开发银行的席位。应该来说，那段时间从中国政府到我们参加了这些国际金融组织的国际雇员，那么都是一个学习的过程。所有的中国雇员都是在这些所有的国际组织里最底层的雇员，就是都是刚刚像学徒一样的，我们都是一个比较低级的低层的这官员。那么现在我们有副行长、局长、处长，什么都有。这些我觉得就是都是一个进步。另外一个也就是说明我们的政府的官员对国际机构、国际金融的运作也越来越熟悉了。
I work for a multilateral organization, and the processes are very important. The process of consensus building around norms and standards and principles with which the organization operates is, I believe, very important, and that is not something completely new for China.
On June the 29th, 2015, representatives of 57 prospective founding member countries were present at the signing ceremony of Articles of Agreement AIIB in Beijing. The signing of the AIIB agreement, drafted by the world's top financial talents, indicates that each member country has reached agreement on the AIIB's purpose, membership, share stock, voting rights, business operations, governance structure, decision mechanism, and other core factors. It also presents to the world the aspirations and goals of the forthcoming new bank.
So I think it's very much important for us to keep in mind we are working together to create a multilateral development institution in the 21st century with the 21st governance.
그래서 지금 저희가 판단하기로는 현재 수준의 협정문 정도면은 그래도 기존에 있는 다른 국제기구의 그 협정문과 볼 때 손색이 없다고 그렇게 보고 있습니다.
Our objective is to build on the successful experience of the MDBs to create a new bank which could be complementary to the existing institutions. And also, AIIB would learn from the successful private sector companies.
The huge capital requirements of Asian infrastructure construction mean that even AIIB's $100 billion of capital funding is still not sufficient. And with the trend of regional integration, transnational and cross-regional interconnectivity needs more of the functions of international organizations. In order to provide strong financial support for Asian infrastructure construction, the AIIB will widely cooperate with other international multilateral financial institutions.
I met with the leadership team at the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank's multilateral interim secretariat, and we discussed expanding our collaboration. I'd especially like to recognize Secretary General Jun Li-jun for his strong leadership in moving swiftly to get the AIIB started.
I would very clearly say we would cooperate and collaborate rather than compete. The reason I'm saying this is very simple. The market is so large that we envisage that however much we do, there's still more to do.
We can work with any institution, government institutions, SOEs, provide separation of ownership and management, private sector companies. Because I believe development calls for broader participation, not just the government. And the government can contribute in its special way. So we are very open, we are willing to work with anybody on the condition that these companies, these partners must have a very good reputation.
所以呢，它不仅是一个补充，而且呢，还是一个我们说这是一种建设性的、良性的竞争。作为这么大一个市场，这个发展这个基础设施市场， 它也需要有一定竞争。从某种意义上来说，亚洲基础设施投资银行的进入也在这一个领域也产生一些小小的竞争，但这种竞争是一种良性的竞争，是一个各国都非常欢迎的竞争。
As an improvement and complement to the existing international financial system, the ownership of AIIB is dominated by Asia. The statutory capital stock of AIIB is $100 billion. The financed proportion between members within and outside the region is 75 to 25.
The developing countries are now saying, look, we believe we are coming of age. We can try and stand on our own feet and try to meet our own needs.
Although it is the leading country in the AIIB initiative, China will not seek an absolute right of control. In terms of the equity allocation, the subscribed capital stock of regional and non-regional members shall be distributed with reference to GDP ratio, and each country's willingness shall be respected. Adhering to the principle of openness and with the increase in the number of founding members, China is still the first majority shareholder and has the highest proportion of voting rights. As more members are welcomed after the founding of AIIB, the stock rights and voting rights will be further allocated.
中国的这个 GDP 所占的比重大，所以它自然而然就形成了这样一种这个股份和股权的安排，不是中国来可以追求一票否决权。
你在少数国家里面当老大，还是在一个更大的范围里，在一个国际社会、国际组织里面，充当其中的一个有积极影响力的一员，这之间发挥正面的作用，这其实是一个选择，而且这个选择呢，应该说答案是不言而喻的，因为越是包容，越是广泛，其实对于亚投行。越好，而这是符合中国的初衷的。
In the initial period of AIIB, China not only put aside the application for financial support for AIIB, but financed the setting up of special provident funding for the project to support less developed countries in developing infrastructure projects.
中国作为亚投行的倡议方，除按期交纳无本金以外，还将向银行即将设立的项目准备特别基金出资5000万美元，用于支持欠发达成员国开展基础设施项目准备。
As a new multilateral development bank in pursuit of better practices, AIIB, drawing on its current successful experience, always needs continuous innovation, which is inevitable for its business operations. It also believes that a contribution should be made to the reform of global multilateral development institutions.
一方で ADB も今までのやり方で本当にいいのかっていうことを AIB が出てきたことによって考えるっていうことで、お互いにこうやっぱりいいやり方に変えていこうっていう動きが出てくると思うので、そこじゃないですかね。だからADB の中尾総裁も AIB といろいろ協力する余地があるということをおっしゃってますし、AIB 側もADB の今までの課題というか、不満が出てきている部分についてはいろいろ変えていこうという動きをしながら、ただ悪い結果にならないようにADB の経験もうまく生かしながらいいものを作っていくという、お互いにそういう形で動いていけば望ましい姿になっていくんじゃないかなと思います。
We are committed to build a bank which would be lean, clean and green. Lean, this is going to be a bank which will be cost effective with the core professionals recruited from across the world. Clean, this bank will have zero tolerance for corruption. Green, this is going to promote green economy.
To achieve efficient operations, the AIIB Council, the highest authority, grants the Board of Directors and management level certain powers according to the regulations. There is not a permanent Board of Directors.
We do not want the board to approve each and every project, but the management should be held fully accountable if you have serious misjudgment in your business. If there's any dereliction or if you miss any important step in the procedure, you are kicked out. No nonsense.
インターネットの社会ですよ。採決は E メールでやればいいわけで、なぜあんな数多くの国々の理事や理事代理、それが何十人もあの建物に北京に行かなきゃいけないんですか。今ね、その国際機関における理事会メンバー何十人いるか分かりませんよ、 ADB でも。あれお金の無駄なんですよ。 およそオペレーションには何の役にも立たないお金が出ていって、それこそそれをもって西側先進国ルールに反するのかって言ったら、それはむしろね、西側先進国ルールがだって時代錯誤でしょ。
AIIB는 신설되는 은행이기 때문에 신설 초기에는 그 효율성을 지향하면서 그 신속한 의사결정을 통해서 신속히 투자를 집행하고자 하는 그런 생각을 하고 있습니다. 그래서 그런 측면에서 볼 때는 이사회를 비상주로 하는 게 일면 타당성이 있고 또 그 필요성도 있습니다.
AIIB is a multilateral financial development institution, all projects of which must be conducted through a bidding process and while facing all countries.
世界银行亚洲开发案有个规定，说你是我这个成员国，你的公司就可以来投标。但亚洲开发亚洲基础设施投资银行更开放，说你不是我的成员国，你是57个国家之外，你也可以来。
AIIB will recruit excellent talents worldwide.
I encourage professionals from across the world to apply for those positions. We will look at their track record, their professional integrity, and we will see whether they will be fully dedicated to AIIB. This is going to be a very transparent process, and the senior staff taking charge of the human resources, taking care of the recruitment, is a professional with experience, and you will not be surprised to know that he is not a Chinese national.
AIIB not only provides financial services for Asian infrastructure construction through cooperating with international financial institutions, but can be proactive in innovation and explore new ways to attract more large private capital to invest in infrastructure construction.
そういう意味では AIIB は一つのやり方ではあるんですけれども、もうちょっと民間のお金が、大量のお金がやはりアジアのインフラに向かわないと、アジアの膨大なインフラ需要っていうのはなかなか満たせないんですね。
亚洲基础设施投资银行，它不但要自己投，还得想办法做出四两拨千斤，也就是怎么样把其他的钱吸引进来。那么这些呢，就需要创新。
The Gertjie Cascade hydropower station, with a total installed capacity of 300 megawatts, is the 22nd hydropower station funded and built by the Baroque Energy Company in Turkey.
We will produce totally 124 million kilowatt hours per year. So it is very important for Adana city center and this area.
In 1996, the Turkish government allowed private enterprises to develop hydropower projects. Then the private power companies rapidly developed in the renewable energy sector, and the Baroque Energy Company quickly became the Turkish model of private power generation enterprise. From a small, newly established company, Zhejiang Dongfeng Electromechanical Company Limited, which has cooperated with Baroque on 18 projects, is also a private company.
20多年来，东方机电为100家水电站提供了包括设计、生产、运输、安装、调试、试运行等整套专业化服务。
The involvement of private capital to fund infrastructure projects has allowed the clean energy sector to rapidly develop in Turkey, which suggests that the infrastructure itself attracts private capital. India is the country with the second largest population and also the most unsatisfied demand for communication in the world.
India is a very complex country in terms of telecommunication because there are millions of people who have seen internet first time on their mobile phones. The need is very high. We have 900 million plus mobile subscribers today, and still internet availability is only to 1/3 of them in the coming years, and we are leapfrogging from 2G to 3G and 3G to 4G. Today we have around less than 10% of consumers using 3G, and we have a lot of impetus happening for 4G now.
As a private enterprise, Reliance is one of the pillars in the Indian telecommunications industry and takes the lead in promoting the improvement of the communications infrastructure.
我们从Reliance 这个用户这边就是获取到的这个合同已经超过这个3.5个亿美金了。
Their partner, ZTE, is from China and is also a joint stock company. In India, the company employs more than 1,500 people, among whom more than 80% are local Indian employees.
在这经营了这个10几年之后，我们随着这个就是印度电信市场的这个恢复，未来向这个技术的这个演进，我们对这个就是在印度市场保持一个稳定的增长，还是非常有信心的。
The interest of private capital in infrastructure construction has allowed various countries to have more choices in infrastructure financing, and the key is to innovate financing methods to attract more capital into infrastructure projects. Having suffered from huge capital pressure, the Beijing Subway Group began to explore government-led market-based financing to provide financial support for the follow-up construction of the subway. Beijing Subway Line 4 was built using the PPP mode, which is public-private partnership financing.
像香港一些，包括新加坡一些这种地铁公司，它确实摆脱了对政府的这种依赖。 而且能够进入资本市场，形成一种商业的盈利的模式，实现它可持续的发展。
Generally, the PPP mode, public-private partnership mode, is one of the project financing modes used for public infrastructure. In this mode, private enterprise and private capital are encouraged to cooperate with the government and participate in the construction of public infrastructure. But social capital is mainly interested in profit, so building a reasonable profit model becomes the key in advancing market financing.
保证这个产品能够可持续，能够 收支相抵，能够有一定的盈利模式。
On September 28, 2009, through introducing social capital amounting to 4.6 billion RMB through PPP financing, Beijing Subway Line 4 was fully opened. Beijing MTR Corporation Limited, funded by social capital, was responsible for the operation of Line 4. Its successful operation would set a good example for the market-based financing of other infrastructure construction.
投行将通过联合融资、公私合营模式和 PPP 等融资方式，与绿色债券、绿色信贷、绿色保险等金融创新手段，引导更多的公共和民间的资本投资。
The AIIB also puts an end to corruption through the institutional improvement and implementation of green growth.
The ESF policy paper has been prepared by the first-class expert, Mr. Stephen Liner, who's been doing wonderful jobs for the preparation of this document. I'm proud to say, if you put this ESF paper alongside ESF papers of other institutions, this paper is as good as those papers. And in certain respects, it's even better because we have learned from the other institutions.
Over China's 30 years of cooperation with international financial institutions, the concept of green environmental protection has long been integrated with the world, and engineering construction at home and abroad has been completed to a high standard. Kazakhstan is located at the junction of the Eurasian continent. It is expected to utilize its regional advantages to develop transit links and serve as a transportation hub and transit center between the two continents. The Double West Road runs from Western China to Western Europe. Through this large-scale infrastructure project, regions of Western China are being connected with those of Western Europe.
Здесь надо отметить, что данный маршрут он является самым коротким сухопутным маршрутом.
At present, 98% of goods transported from China to Europe are delivered by sea transportation. The Double West Road can shorten the time taken to send goods from Lianyungang in China to Europe. The time can be shortened from 45 days to 10 days. Once the transportation of goods along the ancient Silk Road was popular, but then declined. Nowadays, the enormous amount of trade between China and Europe has made this land transportation corridor popular once more. The Double West Road has a total length of 8,445 kilometers, of which 2,787 kilometers is in Kazakhstan. This is also the main reconstructed road section of the Double West Road. The companies involved in the bidding for the new Silk Road project, which is to be built with the backing of international financial institution loans, are all strong competitors.
В реализации проекта участвует порядка 17 компаний. То есть здесь участвуют компании с Италии, Ирана, Турции, Китая, Кореи, ну и казахстанские компании там.
Winning the bidding embodies strength. However, standing out among the competitors will give a definite advantage.
他们去像这种市场亚行这些像融资的项目，他们质量对要求都非常高。银行会定期来检查工作，还有这个当地的专门的这个检测机构，还有业主，还有监理工程师，还有当地的他们的业主的实验室。
Wang Huai is the project manager for the Chim-Kent road section. Soon the permafrost period will arrive. It will last for up to 4 months, during which the road construction work has to stop. Wang faces a continuously shortening construction period and large temperature differences, which makes the construction process more difficult and requires strict project supervision.
这是我们的测量工程师，对，这不同了。他是我们那个业主的监理单位工程师，他在检查我们那个混凝土的厚度。这边对我们这个要求比较高，而且它这个路面等级也是比较高的。
He is very confident that the project will be completed on time. Jung Chung-yun, an engineer from South Korea, is responsible for the technical maintenance of the giant paver. He must ensure the normal and safe operation of this piece of equipment, which is the world's most advanced paver. Unvala, the section chief from Kazakhstan, can not only speak Kazakh, but also Russian and Korean, which helps him communicate with the multinational workforce on the site.
Работы китайская компания выполняет графики, там никаких нареканий ни по срокам, ни по качеству у нас нету там. То есть китайская компания показала себя с очень хорошей стороны.
The logistics channel between Europe and Asia is also expected to be completed by the end of this year.
In my view, the AIIB, the standards would target on the best practice in the field, and like the safeguard being developed by IFC and World Bank. I'm sure the AIIB is going to keep their promise to achieve this target.
世界银行这个亚洲开发银行在中国做的这些项目，重要的不是那些钱，重要的是把那些环保啊什么这些各种各样理念引进来，慢慢这些 都变成了国家的标准的方式。
After the Articles of Agreement, AIIB, was signed, 3 chief negotiator meetings were held. On December the 25th, 2015, the Articles of Agreement, AIIB, received the approval of at least 10 signed parties, with an initial total capital stocks subscription of not less than 50% of the total capital stocks subscription. Thus, the AIIB was formally established.
私はね、中国がね、ああいう国際的な組織を作るということ、これはね、ごくごく当たり前のことだと思います。日本だってね、アジア開発銀行というのを作りましたね。それはね、50年前ですよ。ちょうど今のような中国の雰囲気と同じような日本の雰囲気の時にあれを作るということを決めたんですよ。今中国はアメリカに次ぐ経済大国だと、当然ああいう組織が将来必要だということはね、誰が考えたってね、もう当然のことなんですよ。
To foster growth and well, it could also contribute to the financial stability of not only of China but the Asian region.
The world places high hopes on this new multilateral development agency, but the successful preparation is only the first step, and the AIIB still has to experience the test of time in order to stride forward into the future.
它是一个很漫长的过程，所以真正产生影响，它还是有一个较长的过程，而且这些项目也是一个慢慢做的。 基础设施也不能过急，过急可能要出问题，但是长远来说，一定是影响非常大。
On December the 27th, 1945, the World Bank was officially launched after the Bretton Woods Conference. Its initial mission was to help the post-war reconstruction of Europe and Japan. On November the 24th, 1966, Japan established the ADB, when it experienced an economic boom under the Bretton Woods system, helping to lift Asia out of poverty. On January the 16th, 2016, in response to the new trend of global diversity management, AIIB, jointly set up by 57 countries, was officially opened and will greatly promote common development of the partner regions and the world.